So I'm curious, you have had a really interesting year. You've taken some time off from, a traditional employment, I guess. And I think one thing that's typical of people like us in this career path is that we don't necessarily take a lot of time off. I mean, I know for me, I got to a point where I realized I had I hadn't taken significant time off until just before I started grad school, and that was in 2013, and we're now in 2020. So
Same.
how has how has this time off been for you? I read your article also on the is it the Lebanon Mountain Trail that you
Oh, no. Yeah, I actually
ran?
didn't think anyone would even notice that, and I just randomly added it. But yeah, that's
Well,
awesome.
but I'd love to hear about, the value of this time off for you and how that changes how you think about the world and how you think about yourself as a scientist and kind of I mean, obviously you have lots of new directions you're going with things, so maybe you can touch on that a bit.
Yeah, I think this is so self-reflection is something many scientists, I think, in general do. And I maybe take it a little too much, a little too far. But I think that's part of what kind of like leads to those decisions in my life where I want to take a tiny bit of time off, or I want to adjust my focus, or I want to dabble into something else. And as you said, like I think a lot of us in science don't fully take time off. But I used to tell people like there's a difference between taking time off from something you feel like you have to do versus something you really love doing and you're obsessed with because you actually, this is your passion. Like there are times I'm playing the piano nonstop on it, but I mean, should I feel bad about it? I love that. Like that's my passion. And I see that sometimes with science, and again, science being whether it's research or related to that. So teaching, writing, etc. It's we never take a lot of time off because we want to dabble, we want to play a little bit more. It's our little game. It's something we love. So I honestly like, yeah, as you said, I actually hadn't taken like full time off, like properly, except yeah, the last time was before the PhD, which was actually also 2000, I think 12 or 13. And but even now, like I am taking some bit of time off, but it's actually not like really off. I mean, I'm right now in the office. So there's a lot of like, oh, what do I want to do? Here's what this is a new idea that I want to work on. I want to put out this startup that I had worked on before with UCLA students / alumni. I want to get this book going. I want to actually get back to focusing on women's health. So that's always going to be, I think, in us. And I think that's what drives us. We love it. No one is telling us to do it. We just want to do it. But that's, yeah, I think it's nice to have. And I think that the hint of time off or shifting from your traditional work is what allows you to actually think what is actually the most important thing to me right now. And that's what I'm doing is why do I want to focus on this? Because I've always said I wanted to actually do this. So going into women's health, because honestly, I wanted to work in an area where I was seeing very little attention, where it wasn't the most, it wasn't the sexiest topic in terms of funding, honestly. But honestly, there's a lot of unmet needs. I'm like, I always said that. Actually, I should then go back to that if that's what I care about. So that's what the bit of time off from your typical day-to-day helps do.